Today is all about vertical eco-resin layering. I'm using this cute silicone pot mold and it even comes with a matching lid. To get started, I have gathered my supplies, the eco-resin mix, water-based color pigments, filtered water, mixing containers, stirring sticks, and scoops for the eco-resin. I'm also using cardboard to move the project around easily. Gloves to avoid staining my hands, glass beakers for preparing the ink mix, wipes to keep tidy, and digital scale because this eco-resin is mixed by weight. I've never tried this particular mix before, so I'm really excited. I will be wearing a mask. Even though this is non-toxic, I really don't want to be breathing the powder dust when I'm scooping and mixing. My batteries are reset finally, so let's get started. I'm starting with a 40-gram target for each color for the pot. I've done some rough calculations for the 7 colors of the rainbow. I'm preparing the powder for all the mixes at once to make the process more efficient. It's much better than stopping to open packets and remeasure every few minutes. There are 7 colors, so I'll have to do this 7 times anyways. Our first casting is the lid of the pot. Now that the powders are measured, let's start preparing the eco-resin mix. First, we'll measure the water. This is a specific mix, so the ratios are crucial. I'm weighing the water carefully so that it isn't too runny, otherwise it won't set properly. I'm using these glass beakers to mix the pigments because they don't get stained like my silicone containers and can be cleaned easily after heavy pigment use. This looks too washed out. I think I need to add some more color to give this a little personality befitting the end of the spectrum. I'm checking the edge for bubbles, but there's not much I can do now except stop and hope the tapping does its job. In hindsight, I should have paused the pour halfway through to tap out the air pockets before filling it the rest of the way. I'm going to try and scoop a bit of the excess from this container. It seems to have a little too much. With the lid successfully cast, let's move on to mixing the colors for the main pot. I'm now going through the same process for the remaining 6 colors of the rainbow. For each one, I'll be measuring the water, mixing the pigment, and preparing the eco-resin mix. Since each layer needs the same amount, it's all about consistency from here on out. You can see some lumps in the mix. The instructions suggested adding the powder to the water, the reverse of what I did. But with such small quantities, it usually leads to an endless cycle. Oops, too much water. Oops, too much powder. Now add a little more water. Uh-oh, now the water is more. Add powder to even it out. Honestly, trying to get the ratios perfect that way would drive me mad. I found my current method is good enough to manage tiny batches. I'll just be extra deliberate with my stirring to tackle those lumps for the remaining colors. For larger pours though, I will stick to the official instructions. A little lesson on action and consequence right there. The orange pigment floated because it wasn't fully incorporated, allowing the pigment heavy water to sit on top of the denser yellow layer. I've now figured out how to squash those pesky lumps in the container, so the rest of the rainbow will be much smoother. Onwards and upwards. We are moving through the spectrum. Since it's my first time with this brand of Eco-Resin, I'm finding the colors are a bit more baby pastel than I expected. It looks very cute, but I hope the final result is not too pale, especially when I'm expecting this to lighten even more when it is set and dry. As I pour, I have noticed something about the mold structure. The inside is cylindrical, but the outside walls flare out. This means that even though I've used the same amount of mix for each layer, the layers at the top where the pot is thinner looks much thicker than the ones in the middle. I was going for equal distribution of colors, but this is an interesting effect that responds to the form of the pot itself. I like it. My pieces have set and they are actually still warm to the touch. On a cold winter morning, it's so lovely to just hold them while they are still curing. Time for the reveal! Let's pop this out of the mold. I really do love a rainbow. I didn't realize the pot had an extruding lip on the inside, which adds a nice detail. The internal layering is super cute, though you can see where the water carried some of the residue pigments to the surface because of my rookie mistake while preparing the orange Eco-Resin mix. And look at all the dry pigment residue which traveled to the surface. I'll need to wash the mold immediately with soap and water so that the silicone doesn't stain. The pot is looking perfect, but I'll sand the base of both the pot and the lid to smooth out any rough edges. My rainbow Eco-Resin pot has been drying for a week to eliminate any moisture. It's ready to be sealed. To protect it, I'm using a glossy varnish. Since the surface is porous, this will stop it from grabbing moisture or getting stained. I'm giving the whole thing a second coat both inside and out after letting the first coat dry. After this coat has dried, it is ready for the next stage which will complete this project. Let's candle. I'm using some soy wax and filling my melting pot to the brim, as I know it will reduce in volume once it melts. While the wax is melting on the double boiler, let's prep the wick. I'm using a heat-resistant sticky pad to keep the wick centered. I have this little wooden guide for the wick too, though I think the guide might need its own guide to stay still. This is my very first time making a candle from scratch, so I'm learning as I go. This wax is melted and it's time to pour. The container is hot. This is so satisfying. I can see why people get carried away with candle making. The heat from the wax is making my wick collapse here. It started to do a little dance. I need to hold it up. It's not perfectly straight, but it's much better. I forgot to add fragrance to this melted wax earlier, so I'm adding some minty essential oil now. Better late than never, I hope it works. I'm trying to work the essence into the wax, but it is tricky with the current setup. The candle has set and is now ready. This is so cool. I made the mistake of pouring right to the brim though, force of habit as a resin artist. I didn't take into account the depth of the lid to fit. Not a problem, I'll just place the lid lightly on top for now. The lid will fit easily later after the candle has been used and the level of wax reduces. One of the biggest upgrades in this project is this clear, soft layering. In my previous attempt, I produced this striking piece with crisp layering but with bleeding between the colors. I believe this happened because I let the layers dry too much between the pores, which loosened the edge seal. By casting each layer before the previous one had begun to harden, the extra moisture created a much better bond, keeping the resin exactly where it should be with zero bleeding. It is really satisfying in crafting when I learn something and I do better the next time. This was so much fun. The eco-resin layering is beautiful and the finish feels almost porcelain, smooth and cold to the touch. It is such a joyful little piece and would make a wonderful gift. I hope you enjoyed watching the process. Happy crafting and have a wonderful day.